Yo.
Good evening.
Good evening, everyone. Welcome back. Yeah,
Another
this is
Wednesday.
Another Wednesday. We are back with you guys. Another Wednesday, 10 p.m. This is episode 78. And our guest will be joining us in a
Slightly
short
later.
while, slightly later
Yes.
because of some technical.
He's in the midst of signing $1 billion deal.
Don't worry,
No,
don't worry. These are all good stuff, right?
No, our guest
Yeah.
decided to let me shine for once in a while. You see.
Okay.
Oh, yeah,
Saying
yeah.
what shine, right? So we gotta do this to you. Okay. Hang on. Not you.
Let's do that. Let's do that.
Okay.
Let's shine, man.
What's the
He's
what's the story?
insinuating that both of us are putting him in the background. So this time around, next week, you host your own show. Okay? Then you shine all you want.
So what's the story? Okay, before that, I think Bob is in here, but I will let Bob be at the backstage first. So you guys go in first. I mean, okay, Manfred shared the screen. Oh, okay. I thought Bob came
Since
in.
you are talking about LinkedIn, so
when you share your screen, I cannot put you right in center already. But okay,
never mind.
right in center.
Very simple one. So
what do you do?
This is LinkedIn. Before we let Bob quickly, I'll do a short one. So a lot of my friends are looking.
Just bring Bob in.
No, Bob is not in there. Sorry, I was wrong.
Oh, it's not in. Okay.
Yeah, I thought the screen is Bob.
Okay, so when Bob comes in, you just interrupt me and I will quickly wrap up my
No
stuff.
problem.
No, cannot.
Okay.
We cannot take away the shine away from you.
Okay, so since I got a lot of friends looking for new opportunity, and I have a slight knowledge in terms of LinkedIn, in terms of getting people to reach out to me. So the title here is extremely important. Okay, remember. So as in what I like to sum it up everything what I do. So I help the businesses get more leads with low budget using effective online marketing strategy. Then the skill sets that you have: Facebook ads, SEO, SEM, and the most, the USP. Of course, my co-host of the Three Marketeers show. And you can also put in the talk about this one.
Hey guys.
Hey, hi.
Oh,
he's
in. Bob's here. Purposely, I let him sneak in. No. Manfred is actually showing off his LinkedIn, whatever thing.
Oh, I'm standing in.
Maybe, Bob, you just
right.
observe.
I let Bob go and comment, criticize what I tell you,
Because you are my LinkedIn Sifu, so you let Manfred do his thing, then you tell him whether it's correct or not.
Then you come in and criticize. Okay.
Hey Bob, was giving
Hello?
This is live show. No?
Okay.
Can you hear me? Can you hear us?
Oh, hello.
Can you hear us?
Sorry guys, I'm late. Sorry guys.
No worries.
No.
Okay,
Yes. I think you probably missed that.
Okay, sorry guys.
Right.
Okay, I can.
There's a reverb. There's an audio reverb.
Oh, there's an audio reverb. Sorry guys.
No problem.
Let me just check.
Hello. Let's play the.
Is it better now? Is it better now?
There's slightly, just slight one.
Yeah.
I think it's okay already.
Okay.
No, what happened now is Manfred, because Manfred wants to shine a bit lah, so we let him brag about what he did about his LinkedIn profile, all the changes and all that. And then after that, right?
Okay.
You criticize Kwak.
Oh, okay.
You
Cool.
must punch chance, no.
So you slap, if it's not good, then slap Kwak. Then it's good learning.
You want to shine? Shine.
Okay. You continue.
Okay, continue. Bob will listen.
So on this part, open to work, when you open up. So do remember there's titles here. Do use up all the titles, up to 5 of them. Like digital marketing manager, specialist, digital marketing consultants, so and so forth. Then for this part here, I would suggest you change it to recruiter only.
Oh.
Yeah, recruiter only if you're looking for a job. That's one thing. Then the image, obviously, this one is I did via Canva. Then next time you can put it, select under the frame, edit frame. You can choose open the network or you're hiring. Okay. The wallpaper you all can play with it. Then what else do I want to share? I have a habit of reaching out to recruiters every day, 5 of them. So I have a standard message. Later I will share. Let me dig that one out. I'll share with you all. What else I want to share with you? So these are all the things that you put in. Remember to put your about. with all the information, experience, certification. Bob, anything you want to share now?
No,
What?
you haven't finished yet.
You finished already, man? Wait, we
Finish
let you
it,
shine
finish.
first. I mean, I
Yeah.
kind of like didn't know. I don't know what you did like in the last, few minutes. But anyway, okay. So you are just introducing what to do on your LinkedIn profile.
Yes,
How
yes.
you should position.
Especially
your
this
profile.
part, I think a lot of people didn't put the 5 job titles.
The
You
job
should actually
references.
put, then your title here, put in all your skills, and set as
Okay.
and this one we can put here as open to network.
Okay.
Right.
So
right.
Bob, anything to share?
Okay, Bob,
Bob,
over to you, man. My
over to you,
LinkedIn
man.
Sifu.
Oh, okay. Thank you guys. Sorry for being late.
No
Manfred,
worries.
good job. I really like your profile. It's very good. Actually, since you're here, right? Let's share something with the audience also, so that they
Yes.
know a bit about LinkedIn SEO. So you scroll down and you can click on the search appearances. So you scroll down to your dashboard. And then you go to search. You see 113 search appearances
Okay.
on the. So click on that.
Okay,
Okay,
click
this
on
one.
that.
Okay.
Yep.
Okay.
Yes, click on that. So this will you will know. So some of you, all of us here know what is SEO, right? So you will know what are the keywords. So you included a lot of keywords in your headline, right? What are the keywords that bring you the search traffic? So we see the keyword principal, marketing manager. Okay, so good job, no? Marketing manager, marketer. So if you want, if you are running a business or if you are a marketer, you want to be found with the right keywords. And the headline, right? So just now the 2 lines that Manfred showed you, the headline is exactly like SEO. So when it comes to SEO, you have a H1, right? That is your H1. And not only you will get the search appearances here, but myself, I had searches come from Google also.
Oh.
So the headline here is very important, and you see that you have what SEM. Maybe if you change SEM to Google AdWords, right? So it depends on what you want to be discovered for. Improve acquisition. So that one maybe you can put in the about section instead lah. Improve acquisition.
Okay.
Co-host. That one is good. I think overall it's a very good profile. So like the second-hand mall don't have company page.
Oh, that one is a start. Don't have company page.
Are you great for them lah? to look
Okay,
nicer.
great for
You
them.
great for them. That's what I do. Actually, just for fun, there are actually LinkedIn does not how to say check if you work for the company or not one. So I know one person who got banned from LinkedIn. He worked for Google, Apple, Microsoft, all. So they do not check one. So that it's true story. There's one person he put his CEO of Google, CEO of Apple, Microsoft all
Serious?
together. So that's and then but he got banned eventually. But no checking on that. But for good job. Actually, good open for work is good. I really like the headline. And then one thing that maybe not a lot of people know, but Manfred you already know. So you can click on edit public profile and URL. Manfred has his own URL one over there.
This one.
Okay, Manfred linkedin.com/Manfred Shi. But a lot of people miss this out.
Yeah.
Yep.
So
you
you
click on this one on the top right.
if the basic, so since we are marketers, right? So have a nice. If you don't change this, then it will be something dot Manfred dot a lot of numbers. So that is the 2 main
The
things.
one on top lah. The one on top my URL.
So cannot see right now, but if you edit the public profile and URL, then you can see from there.
I see.
I think scroll down some more, Manfred.
Bob,
So
don't
another
mind
thing.
I ask you something. This one the talk about I forgot where I put. This one.
Oh, you forgot where you put? What do you mean?
Yeah, see, where did I change this one for the talk about?
You change it in the creator mode, actually.
In here, as in I click this one.
This one, not really though. Later I will find out for you lah. But some.
I also forget.
some-
I usually forget that one. Yeah. I don't know where to find it.
that
Eventually,
one
I'll
one
just find
is not important.
It's not in the about
for
section.
SEO purposes. It's what comes with the creator mode. And then, okay, one thing that you can add, Manfred, is you can add a featured section. So you can add actually these 3 marketers show the YouTube page to the featured section.
I
yes.
have it, one,
Yes.
I have it.
You already have.
Oh,
you already
you
have
have
it.
it. Okay, okay.
Oh yeah, you hide it, ma. So
Yeah.
okay, very good job on that. Good job on that. Okay, that's good. So I think one thing that a lot of people miss out is this featured section, no? But overall, okay. So this is the so this is the profile URL, that part, right?
Yeah.
Creator
I
mode.
edit, it's not edit, but when I click edit, it will jump to another page. Yeah. So for posting itself, normally the URL I will put inside the comment. For some reason, when the URL you put inside the post, the organic reach seems to be smaller if you without putting compare. This is one of the experts that share with me.
Yeah, you are right.
So you can put it inside the comment. Then one good way is when I follow this guy, Eric Sim. I think you also follow him. So there's one thing I did. So you know that this is an influencer. So there is a bell here.
Bell icon, yeah.
So you follow him once there's a message, as in come up with a new message. You quickly, normally for him, he like to put English and Chinese and roughly 8 a.m. or 8 p.m. Okay. So once he has say example he writes something, that's my style. I think Bob will also agree. So you read already, then you quickly either you try to be the first one to comment in a summary mode, as in you just shorten everything into a 1-liner or 2-liner. You put inside the comment, then this guy will actually also reply. Then when people agree, then you get a lot of attention, and also share. Then you put the things out because you're riding on him to get the so-called viewership and connection network. That's what I do.
And your question is?
That's very smart. Yeah, that's very smart, That's very smart, Manfred.
Yeah.
So actually, I do that also. But one thing I look for extra. So that's how I get a lot of the CEOs in Malaysia to share my content. So I don't want to name who, but there are some CEOs in Malaysia that share my content, and this is how I build a relationship. I'm always the first one to comment on their posts. So it builds a relationship. But having said that, I will look for something else. So you can go back to Eric Sim's profile and go to his all activity. Go to his profile and go to his see all activity.
Give me a minute. Okay. Let's
no worries.
go to activities, yes.
To see all activity. You go down and then you click on see all activity.
Show all activities, okay. Give me a minute.
Yeah. Okay, so another thing I look for, right? Another thing I will look for, because I want them to share and comment on my posts. Okay, so sometimes these influencers, they are very broadcast. So they will comment and like their own posts. That's fine. But I'm looking for influencers who also comment on other people's posts. Then you know there's a reciprocation. Right, so you scroll down, see whether Eric Sim got comment on other people's posts besides his own post or not. So not to talk. I see he replied to comment on other people's posts.
I need to follow this guy lah. I follow this guy.
I don't follow this guy, but it's a good sign that if you build relationship with Eric, and when you tag him in your post, he will comment. If he comments on other people's posts. So you scroll down some more.
So it's not one way lah.
See if
so he say something, then you can reply
so
back
I see
tag him back.
Like Tony if you example Tony Fernandez, right? Tony Fernandez on LinkedIn, very active one. Got very different and exclusive content. Tony Fernandez, unfortunately, I say it very out loud on this platform, on this show. He will not comment on your post. He only comment on his own post. So don't waste your time. Go and build a relationship with him. So,
Thanks for the heads up.
I will look for if he is the giver. If this person is a giver and if he comment on your post 2 million followers, guarantee. So that's how I choose. So the only for when I check out if they are active participators in the community. So if they are commenting on other people's posts, then I will turn on the bell button and then I will give them a lot of love. But then I will tag them in relevant posts also lah.
A lot of times this is like a human conversation, a true human conversation move online.
Yeah. And a lot of time it's the same thing as choosing your friends.
And now some more, still got other activity or not?
Hold on, let's check him out. He's a very
Still got other
interesting.
activity or not?
I attended his talk before during my course. Come on,
Oh,
always the same
mostly his
post.
own post, huh? Mostly his own post.
Oh, yeah.
Maybe
Why is always
recently
the same
this
Mostly
one.
his own one. So I think not a high chance on him comment posts.
2 million plus followers.
Okay, so not
3
time
million.
here. So maybe
They coming to 3 million already.
and
He's
okay,
commenting
so
on
okay,
his own
so
post.
Different one.
Because it's inside.
Oh,
I think Bob has got some.
one is a good example. So
Yeah. Bob, your line is.
Your line is a bit interrupted.
so this building relationship. Oh, okay, got
Baba,
Okay.
your
this.
It's
your
kind of
signal
choppy.
is choppy,
Yeah.
you know.
Your line is a bit choppy.
Can you hear me?
Yep.
Yes, but sometimes got disconnected a bit. But now can you?
Yeah.
But and you're frozen. You know,
Can
your
you
screen is frozen.
Your line is also very excited that you are sharing so much goodie that you also a bit of hiccups here and there.
Okay, Bob, can I suggest you go out and come back again?
Okay,
That's
that's
the
what I
right
did.
thing. That's the right thing.
So Bob is giving me another chance to shine again.
Okay, continue.
Yeah, you continue shining. Let you do that because this is, in a way, this episode. Okay, now if you're listening on the podcast and you listen up to now, you are amazing. I don't know how you do that. Because this obviously you have to go back to the video if you are here, if you're watching this, if you want to get the gist of this lah. But yet again, our fourth marketer is here also. Okay, awesome.
Hi.
What's up,
we
man?
forgot to
Chiwai,
greet
welcome in.
our who else is joining us? We forgot to
Yeah,
greet
I don't know. Do you see anyone from LinkedIn? Because the number went up
At the
and came down
moment, it's-
because I think people kind of like maybe they jump in halfway, they don't know what happened. But
Right. Then they
doesn't
saw
matter.
they expected Bob there. They saw Manfred. They said, "Oh,
Oh
shit!"
yeah,
I'm
then they were
wrong
like,
room.
oh hey, is this the right thing to look at?
Yeah, we're
That's
wrong
my
room.
guess. That's my guess.
But
So
I think it's quite interesting.
Yeah.
But what do you
So,
think? Since we're at this topic, Manfred, sorry, let you continue.
Okay, I realized one thing. The hashtag is like Facebook. No, cannot make it. No, I don't think you put a lot of hashtag. Overkill. No, doesn't. It's not proven unless I have not read.
Okay, Bob is back.
To
Let me
ask
bring
the
him back.
expert.
Okay, Bob is back.
Okay, Bob, welcome back. How's your line?
How's the line? Can you hear us?
You check his audio and see.
Okay, I think.
Okay, can you hear me, guys? I can
yeah,
hear. I
yeah,
can hear all of you.
Thumbs up,
Okay,
thumbs up.
sorry about that.
No
I had to
problem.
change browsers. So this is very live. So I had to change browsers. The Chrome cannot. So
Chrome
now
crashed,
I'm
huh?
on.
You are
I'm
revealing too
on.
much secrets already, so the Chrome decided to shut you down.
Okay, so Manfred, do you want to look at a good example that you should someone
Sure.
that you can engage with? So for Singapore, you can look for Juliana Chan, right? Also a top voice and also a CEO in Singapore. I recently had an article of top CEOs to follow in Singapore, and she was one of it. So Juliana Chan, yes, this one you should engage. Okay, it's not because pretty girl, but because she really engaged with other people's content also. So go to see her, see all her activity. See all activity, and you'll see something very different.
PhD, World Economic Forum. Whoa.
So while you guys are doing this, right, let me show you what our fourth marketer is doing. This guy, he said he's updating his LinkedIn on the spot. Oh, he said he's so damn guilty on this. I mean, tell me about it, man. I have never updated my LinkedIn for donkey years.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Chiwa, if you need lessons, I can share with you my learnings.
Okay.
Yeah, you
Bob,
can
you're
see
saying,
her activity.
continue.
You can go and see all her activity, and you can see the difference.
MIT. Wow,
Oh,
smart
yeah.
girl.
Whoa.
That is one smart cookie.
Okay. So
Yeah, you see, she liked the first one. She likes other people's posts.
Yes.
she loves this.
You
she
scroll down.
likes this. Okay.
Yeah, not her posts. Yeah.
Wow.
Wow.
Celebrate
Diva.
other people's posts.
She's a
Comment. Okay,
diva.
this one her own post. Never mind.
Because of excellence.
Yeah,
Another
now
guy.
she commented on this
Someone-
Danny Tan's post. Okay, so
Because
she's
she's
also
right there as
on
well.
her post.
a post.
Yeah.
Okay.
End game. Okay. And this is also.
Okay, she like and find this helpful. So a bit of variety when it comes to the activity.
Right.
That is different than just now.
Same one.
Because some people do share their own content, hire someone to share their content, etc.
Yep.
But this is
Yeah.
this is her own. This is herself. All this commenting and engagement.
Yeah, this one is her. This one is I can say it's herself because it's very authentic one. I think just now we saw Eric Sim also might be himself as well. Just that it's a bit, maybe he's too busy, so it's a bit one-sided lah. Like for example, if you look at Anthony Tan, right? Anthony Tan, the Grab CEO, not on Instagram, not on Instagram, not on Twitter. I'm not sure he's active or not, but very active on LinkedIn. And so you go Anthony. So I think you put O there.
Anthony. ANTHO, bro.
ANTHO, sorry, THO.
Anthony Tan.
Yep.
Yeah, I also think he posts his own post, but he doesn't engage much. But you can go and see his post. Got Sipak Nasi Lemak inside there also. Got a lot of stuff lah. So I think this is the only platform he's active on. So if you scroll down and go to his activity.
Yeah, loading.
So yeah, these are the few things that I look for when I go to a profile. I'll see what they talk about, what they engage with, etc.
Right.
So like Anthony Tan, also don't waste your time. He will not engage back lah. So if you want to comment on the post, can, because it will appear your comment will stay there for a long time and it will get you some attention also.
Right.
You got comment on Alvin Tan's post, but I think feature him lah. So.
Right.
He's a minister of State Republic. He's a minister. Obviously, he will comment, no?
Oh yeah. Manfred, all your Manfred, all your ministers are on LinkedIn.
Yeah, I
all
know.
your minister.
I know.
Malaysia one, not anyone that I know of.
Probably they're more active on Twitter.
They are different link.
They are also on Facebook also.
In Malaysia, active. I think Tengku Zafrul, our finance, got posts, but that's it. He got posts, but not really active one. That's it. The rest are
Rashid Jalil, Berjaya CEO, is active.
Yeah, he's also on Twitter, but not really minister lah. Not minister.
Yeah, not so minister level. Yeah.
If you're talking about CEOs who are active in Malaysia, I recently did a list. You can go HRD Corp Malaysia CEO, Anthony Tan considered Singapore already. Who else? A lot like Post Malaysia CEO, Charles Brewer, POS Post Malaysia, also very active. Tony Fernandez, of course. He has a lot of content that is only here. So you see his Anthony Tan's posts. I think he's only active here Cannot find him somewhere else.
Okay.
So that's that. So so that is this part So to answer the question, not really a question but I do turn on the bell. It's very important. I do turn on the bell, but I choose people that I know will engage back. In fact, if you are doing PR, you can turn on the bell for reporters or editors, and that's how you build relationship. And then that's how you get featured in media also. You can turn on the bell for your prospective client, for your prospective employer, for CEOs. So it's a very good way to build relationship. So what happens when you turn on the bell is that you will receive a notification on your LinkedIn every time they post a piece of content. So you can be the first one to comment.
Wow.
So Manfred is very smart in doing that.
All right, Manfred. Maybe we
Good
can
job,
stop
Manfred.
the sharing. Let's focus on Bob.
Okay,
Thank you, my friend.
For a moment, I wanted to go to Bob's profile and turn on the bell also.
You should.
So I follow Bob.
You can do that after.
I think that
All right,
us...
Bob, welcome to the show. Again.
Welcome.
Oh, hi guys. I really love the show. As you know, every week also I watch, and every week also I ask questions. So I'm a big fan of the show. Happy to be here.
Awesome.
Thank you for supporting us.
Awesome. I mean, I think today's discussion. I mean, first thing first, I have to thank Manfred for successfully fish. I would say in a way, fish Bob to give us a very useful lesson about LinkedIn marketing on who are the
I think
people
that's a
to
good job,
choose.
my friend.
Yeah, and
Good job,
thanks
man.
for
I got that for
sharing,
you.
really, Bob. That was really awesome because I believe every one of us have learned something very useful in terms of choosing the right people to engage. That's a very important thing. Sometimes, it will be very, it feel very energy draining when you are, constantly creating a lot of content and trying to engage with people, but you're not getting feedback. So I think that would help certain people in terms of if you are looking for opportunity and you want to do this kind of engagement, that will be very useful. Thank you so much, Bob, for sharing.
Yeah. Thank you as well.
All right. So today is about Bob and marketing. So it's gonna be like a wing it kind of thing. But seriously, I mean, we understand that Bob, you have been in the industry for quite a while. So what has changed if you look at, let's say, 5 years back and compared to what we are now and the moving forward in terms of landscape, in terms of the platform evolution and how people behave and all this kind of thing. Would you mind to share with us some observation? I mean, I'm just winging it because I don't think we need any questions and script over here, right?
Yeah.
Sure. Okay, so I will give a 10-year summary introduction, and maybe you all can come up with different questions on different time period.
Awesome.
Okay.
All right.
So I'll tell you how I started in marketing. So I graduated, I studied marketing. I was a big fan of marketing. I can tell you at that time, I didn't really read the syllabus, but I read lah. But I was really a big fan in university. I go to camp. I remember I go to Singapore Kinokuniya camp there and read marketing books. And at that time was the launch or the books that were popular were Seth Godin's Purple Cow came out. So it was that time lah, like over 10 years
very
ago.
Early.
10 years ago,
and then
maybe
I was
saw
one
you
of
at
the-
Kinokuniya.
Maybe I saw Manfred. And I actually emailed Seth Godin about my blog also, and I surprised. So Seth Godin is like, for the listeners, he's like the guru of marketing, guru sort of lah.
Yep.
Right? I emailed him and he replied back. He like replied good stuff, and he really replies on 100%. If you guys email him about your show, he might get back to you also. He really replies. So at that time I was really a fan of marketing. I will write blogs. At that time, I wrote a blog, and the blog that I sent to Seth Godin was about the differences between Chinese music industry and the West music industry. So the West music industry, and that time got no Spotify one. That time was iTunes Music. So I say in West it's become commoditizing because like you can buy 99 cents. At that time, 99 cents for one song. That time buy on iTunes. And what the Taiwan music industry do is, besides buying the album, you're not really buying the music. We all know that you are buying the 写真, which is the photo album. You even buy the keychain and you buy like the full experience of the artist one. So you're not buying the music. You're buying the whole thing that you can put in your house as a decoration one.
The
poster,
memorabilia stuff lah, right?
So they are not selling music, which is a commodity now. They are selling album. They are selling a piece of the artist. So I wrote that blog and sent to him, and he said good stuff. That's it. He don't reply very long. So I wrote that blog. That time, I wrote the blog that the platform don't exist anymore. It's called Multiply. Don't exist anymore. So I was a marketing blogger. So how I started my in the industry. I cannot find job in marketing, so I started off agency. I worked in digital agency at that time, now it's called Isobar. So I worked with a lot of the big brands at that time. I started a lot of their Facebook pages. That time. Wow. A lot of their Facebook pages, like Sunsilk or whatever, they started off their Facebook pages. And then I was very curious about the traditional marketing. And then I went into traditional marketing for some time, worked for a company that I don't think exists in Malaysia anymore called Saatchi & Saatchi. So I went to do
MC Saatchi now.
No, not MC Saatchi. No, it's a different. It's a very long story one, so I don't want to get into that, but it used to be called Saatchi & Saatchi. And I did print ads, POSM, to billboards, to newspaper ads, magazine ads, you name it. And then I did sales for some time. And then I moved back to become in-house marketing. So I was managing the marketing for a retail company, which is a spa company called Thai Odyssey. So the whole company, the whole country's digital marketing. And I know a lot of retail stuff because of that. I did SMS, I did Facebook ads, of course, at that time. And, you learn a lot of loyalty stuff in the spa industry. So you learn a lot of loyalty marketing and what works and what. So retail, did that for a number of years. And then after that, I came out by myself, but I also worked part-time. I was part of Next Academy, and I was the head of growth. And then also I teach the whole digital marketing, not whole, but I teach a good part of the digital marketing bootcamp and taught like Facebook ads, Google ads, strategy, everything as well. And then as of 2 years ago, then I focused now today on very niche LinkedIn. And I think I remember last time I was on your show, I said I can do a lot of things. I can do Google AdWords. I can, to a certain point, do SEO and Facebook ads also. But I needed to choose LinkedIn because you cannot say you're good at everything. You cannot, no one remember you. So I choose LinkedIn. And so when people remember me for LinkedIn, then when I talk to them, they say, actually, I can do these things. And then that's where then I will see how I can help them. So that's basically in summary, the 10 years in summary that. So any point
That's
or any part of that you like, I think Manfred will have some question or Jason will have some question on that part.
No, honestly, not many people are specialized in LinkedIn. Very few. Then when you mention you're specialized in LinkedIn, my eyes sparks. Pay attention to you.
Oh, okay, thank you.
So Bob, what makes you choose LinkedIn among all the other? I mean, since you have experienced most except, well, have you experienced TikTok or something like that?
I'm not as bold as Jason. Actually, 2 years ago, I was seriously very good at Facebook advertising. Like I think if you were online 2 years ago, you will be harassed by Next Academy's Facebook ads to a certain point. And I also was managing the Google advertising, and I was very good at Facebook at that time. Now maybe I'm not so good already. So at that time, so I was not as bold as Jason to choose the Red Sea to go in as a Facebook marketer. And there were other people that I know that were very good at it, like Vane Liu, like a lot of people I know are very good at Facebook ads, like Jin Chao, our friend, right? So the only one that don't have many people is LinkedIn. And so happened 3 years ago, I started creating content. And at that time, the organic reach on LinkedIn was amazing and still is quite amazing. So you can get, so that's where I saw the opportunity. I keep creating content on LinkedIn, and then there was a lot of organic reach. So I started to focus out on there. I think the short answer to that is I'm not as bold as Jason to go into Facebook advertising.
No, it's your positioning.
I think it's all about positioning. It's a choice.
Yeah.
Just like, eventually when you make the choice, then you have to live by it. That's very simple. Regardless whether it's a red ocean or not, we all know that. But somehow or other, I think you're right. I mean, one thing about this thing, if I can share anything from my experience going into a red ocean, like Bob mentioned, right? No matter how red is the ocean, I do believe that you have a chance to actually build your voice. Because there are always angles that your competitors or so-called your peers are not looking into. Like for my case, to be frank, right, I didn't build my voice on Facebook. Although I'm a Facebook ads specialist, I built my voice on YouTube. So that's how I actually spread. But then again, one thing I want to ask, if you don't mind, right, Bob, I can see you do a lot of organic, which is, I think you're a big fan of organic, which is you use a lot of all the features available on LinkedIn to get people, to talk to people, to get to know people. And I'm a believer of ads. So I'm a believer of paid ads, because to me, it's this. Okay, I don't have the patience to build this kind of engagement. So what I do is I just go out to the right people and get them over to look at what I do. To me, this gives me the speed. Of course, in terms of the quality, will be a little bit different. But what I worry about, because if you count on organic very heavily, when the organic fades away, just like what happened to Facebook, do you see organic is getting a little bit more difficult on LinkedIn, or you are still believing that it's gonna be okay?
Yeah, I think Jason, you also do organic. You do YouTube, which is very organic.
Yes.
So same thing. So YouTube also, like, you will look into all the details when it comes to YouTube. So I think LinkedIn organic is now very good. Okay, I'm not, like I said, I used to run a lot of Facebook ads, right? I used to run a lot of Google ads also. I used to put people's competitor keywords and do Google ads. So I also do LinkedIn ads for my own business.
Okay.
I also do. It's a bit more expensive, but the quality is good because you can target down to the title. That means, like, let's say you want CEO of company 100 people and above, you can target that specific. But the cost per lead is very expensive one. So I do target. I do find I organic is very good. On LinkedIn, I think right now the most powerful organic thing is the LinkedIn events.
Okay.
Also, I understand what you mean, Jason. I really understand, because what a lot of content creators out there, what the misconception is, and I also did share and with Andrew many times, is when you start posting content organically on LinkedIn or Facebook, you name it lah, you name it, then you get some leads. Not really. So I always say this, and I know, Jason, you do this also.
Like Shiwa was just saying that, let me bring this up. Shiwa got trash me. He said, I say I know I'm not a fan of organic, but I got tons of content builder. I like that. Okay, I like that. That's correct. Yeah. That's correct, actually. But here's the thing, when it comes to organic.
Okay,
you go on first, sorry.
Okay, so for me, my religion is this, and I share with Andrew many times. My religion is this: lead generation, and Jason does this very well. Lead generation is an exchange of value. That means when someone learns something from you, they want to work with you, and Jason does that every day. So when someone learns something from you, they want to work with you. So content on LinkedIn is good, but it's a very small exchange of value. It's like or content on. But a video, then there's a larger exchange of value. A 10-minute video, you are sharing a lot of information. That's why I'm also a big fan of webinars. That's what I mainly teach on LinkedIn using. Because when someone attends the webinar, they're interested in the topic, right? They're not there to learn yoga to come to my webinar, right? Number two, you have that huge exchange of value where they are listening to talk for 60 minutes and 100 minutes. So there's a huge exchange of value. So when there is a huge exchange of value, especially in what you do, especially in what most of us do, then people will work with us. So it's how you have that exchange of value. So like Jason does his video every day, it's an exchange of value. And like it's actually a very common one, just that a lot of people that do this, even the best marketers out there, you name it, like Tony Robbins, Russell Brunson, and then they run the syndicated webinars one. But Peng Joon, it's all syndicated webinars. It's the proven thing. But just they in the end, they won't teach you this. They will teach you other things that is not their main lead generation funnel. Even Jason, you run your own webinars and stuff like that. That is where you can really close. Where your organic YouTube, you can put it out there, and you don't close, never mind, just put it out there first. Then we'll close one. So that is an exchange of value.
That's very true. So when we talk about content, right? Organically, I mean, I'm just trying to look at the platform to choose. Because for your information, recently I started a podcast. In fact, the 3 Marketer Show is a podcast. But what I did is I started a podcast with a very different intent. Because this is something that I experienced myself. To be frank, right, for the longest time, I know podcasts exist. It has existed for the longest time. But because recently I had an experience, this is really from my personal experience. I started listening to a podcast. And because it's very easy to listen, because a lot of knowledge that we share, right, is not something that requires a lot of visual. You don't even need to spend time creating content on LinkedIn. But when you speak, people feel that they are listening to a person. They feel connected. That's what happened to me. After listening to several episodes of the podcast, I don't know why I feel that I know this person. And that feeling strikes me. And I was like, okay, it's like you can do this while you're driving. You can do this while you're actually doing anything else, while you're commuting and all that. People would have a different way of knowing you. So what do you think about content evolution moving forward? And now we're talking about TikTok, reels and all these crazy things, right? Somehow or rather, it gets fragmented. But how do you look at your next choice of content creation platform?
My next choice,
Yeah.
I actually learned a lot from you, Jason. My next choice would be YouTube, because I think YouTube got a
Okay.
lot of ways to grow. Okay, I'm a fan of like Mr. Beast. I listen to his podcast and everything. I think YouTube has a lot of things to go. So it depends on how generous the platform is on giving you the organic, right? So, but I would say podcast, right? I actually tried to grow a podcast before, and also I saw when I used to work with Next Academy, I also try. I think podcast is the hardest one to grow, and I will refer you some guests that you can interview when it comes to podcast growth. But podcast right now, so is your podcast on Spotify also?
I'm on everywhere.
On everywhere. Oh, okay. Used to be hard to grow. The best podcasters, how they grow was they were ranking number 1 on the charts on iTunes Store, on the Apple Store. That's how they get, like, they always say, number 1 on iTunes. Now, Spotify also have their own ranking, so that's how you can grow. But it's the hardest thing to grow. It's harder than YouTube channel. It's very hard to grow one. I think you
Any
grow
reason
your
why? What's the hypothesis?
Because I think the habit is not here in our part of the world.
Yeah.
Listening to podcasts is not really happening in our part of the world, if you ask me. If you look at our previous data for the past 1 year plus, right, for our 3 Marketeers Show podcasts, the views are crappy, to be frank. It's crappy.
Yeah,
the views.
I think on YouTube you can do it, but because podcast is not a social media, you have to rely on search. And if you rely on the Apple Store rankings, the Apple rankings, you already alienate 50% of Malaysian population, because not everyone use Apple.
Correct.
But now with
70% to
Spotify,
be frank.
now with Spotify, okay, you got a bit of leverage lah. Now with Spotify, then you should focus on Spotify. So what I see, so maybe I'm not the best person to ask about this, but I'm very interested in this. But what I see is some people, they focus. So the key to grow your podcast is to get on top of the ranking, whether it's Anchor or even the niche podcast platform, or if the best one is Apple. So the podcast listeners in the US, they only target the Apple people. They don't care about the rest already. And in US, more people use Apple, of course.
Yeah.
So podcast is very hard to grow. But if you manage to grow it, of course, can lah. Because the retention also is very hard to maintain. But that's another thing. But actually, I really wanted to talk to you guys about your podcast mission, which I think Andrew did a post recently on this, right?
Okay, what I think you shared very useful information, because I truly know it, because I've been observing the 3 Marketeers Show. The podcast growth is, what growth? Nothing happened, to be frank. It's like every episode you throw out, there are only like a handful of people actually watch it or listen to it. But here's what I think. I actually built this podcast. The target audience is my warm audience, not my core audience. I'm not using this to do lead gen. My lead gen is done on YouTube and my ads. YouTube is doing very good. It gets me thousands of people every day. I'm happy. But podcast is where I nurture, because for some reason, we all know that when a person comes into our universe, right, they won't convert right away. They need multiple touch points. And based on my observation, my audience usually would have to attend 3 to 5 of my workshops. Then only they will start thinking about, okay, which one I want to buy and stuff like that. That's how it works. So I want to find a way to really push my appearances. You get what I mean? Because my workshop is there, which is quite regular, and then my email is there, and I want to create another way that I can show my persona. Because for some reason, this is my comparison. I actually thought about, I write emails, which is working very well for me. However, I think they're still lacking something, because for some reason, right, arguable, I'm just putting this out for argument, for discussion. Words is not as powerful as voice, and of course voice is not as powerful as visual. What do you think about this?
It's very powerful. It's very powerful. Like I see the best podcasters, how they grow. Actually, they grow their email lists. Then every time you release a podcast, at least you email them, because the podcast app
cannot. I'm not hoping any growth from there, to be frank.
I think, Bob, your concept of distribution of the content is valid across all platforms. You can produce no matter how good the content is. If your distribution is crap, nobody knows.
Yeah. So like I'm studying a few marketers. I think now a lot of people use TikTok like Manfred. They use TikTok as because because I watch your show so I know the inside joke, right? So
Thank you.
no, you need to find the most generous organic reach, and then from the most generous one you funnel them to somewhere else. I know people who grow their Instagram because of TikTok a lot. That means you don't grow on Instagram. You grow on Instagram, you put your TikTok link there, Instagram link on TikTok, you grow from there. So I know people who grow their subscriber list. I know, I 100% know. In fact, follow Dennis Yu. So Dennis Yu, we all know, right? Follow Dennis Yu on the LinkedIn or Twitter. He actually had a case study recently, TikTok X grow email subscription list, right? So you need to find
check that out, man.
so you can even use, I think, TikTok to grow your YouTube channel. So it's like find the green pasture and then grow there. So that's what the marketers do. So Mantra is very smart man, always ahead of all of us, right?
I want to add something. I follow this influencer. I follow him via TikTok, okay? But the problem with TikTok is a lot of things. Then he has different topics, Then it's all jumbled up. Then it's very difficult for me to consume because there's few hundred videos. I only want specific topic. Then I kepo, I go and see the IG icon and press. Then I saw he put the IG link and the YouTube link. So I go to YouTube. Then the YouTube one is sorted on the phone. Is sorted via the category. Then I subscribe the YouTube and the
but you found it on TikTok, you see.
Yeah, I found it on TikTok because TikTok knows what I'm interested. The serving algorithm. So you're leveraging. So I was brought in. I also follow him on IG But the point is the YouTube part are actually able to categorize. So YouTube able to answer my problem. Although I found the content, but it's all because he do a lot of topics, different topic. It's not in order. I'm only very interested in particular topic. Then he answer my need in that self-educated because I go there and click. I see there's IG and YouTube. Then I kepo, I go YouTube, I see got category, answer my problem. So that actually answer back to what Bob. Good one.
Yeah. Okay. So I'm not a TikTok expert. Maybe you get someone else to talk about TikTok. Okay. So I want to talk about the podcast.
Manfred, TikTok.
Sorry, Manfred. One day, one show. Okay. So
you're the guest. You talk first. Yeah.
Okay. So about the podcast mission, right? So I will share with you a story on how I get some of the biggest guests last time to interview. If you go to YouTube, you'll find Bob Guy Kawasaki. You will see me interview him with very bad camera and very bad earphone.
I think I've seen that.
This 3 years ago, you go and find me, or you find my interview. I interviewed a guy. I interviewed Rand Fishkin. You know Rand Fishkin, the Moss founder. And how I do that is I invited them through cold email because I saw Andrew's post the other day on Dato James asked you a question. You said I just want to talk to people, which is great. And then he said you have a mission. So one tip I would want to give your mission. So how I get these guests, right, to come on to interview them, I give them a mission bigger than myself. So I don't say I want to become number one. I say I want to help the entrepreneurs in Asia. Then the vision is bigger than myself. And they say, don't mind. Oh, okay. I want to help you to promote your book and also to help the entrepreneurs in Asia. So when you have a mission that is bigger than yourself, you can invite anyone. They will say yes because they align with your mission. They say, oh, okay. I feel that maybe on Asian marketers or Asian entrepreneurs, maybe Asian marketers, they are not, they don't have the best information. So what I want to do is to bring your content and help Asian marketers get to the next level. I'm just making things up.
Yep.
Then you can unlimited get guest one as long as they will look at your mission. They don't even care how many viewers or how many followers you have. As long as you have a mission that is bigger than yourself. So when I saw your post, I was like, oh, become number one. That one is a bit selfish, just to say a bit selfish because number one. Become number one, it's
to what you see?
But if you have a big mission bigger than yourself, like Chris Do, so I like to Chris Do, he said his mission is to educate 1 billion people. A very big mission, and to educate 1 billion people. So if the vision is bigger than yourself, then very easy to run the podcast and very easy to get very good guests. Even if you ask the best people, you can call email. You can call email all these people, but your mission is there. then they're very hard to say no one. You don't want to help the Asian entrepreneur. So very hard to say
So
no
bad.
one.
So bad. No good.
No good. So if the
Okay,
mission
good
is
point.
bigger
We're
than
gonna change
yourself.
this. We're gonna update this.
No, I'm a big fan of your show, so that's why I have to share with you. I wanted to
Thank
share
you so
with
much.
you what I said. Yeah.
Thank you so
So
much.
it will
Because
really help you to get the guests.
I believe so, man. Because Manfred is our head of guest
Acquisition.
So this information will be very helpful to Manfred.
Yeah.
Because Manfred has been doing a good job, you know, since end of last year until now, right? You know, he brought us a lot of awesome guests. But that's a very good point. You see, I mean, eventually, I think that's kind of like why we want to run business in a way. It shouldn't be just for the money. It should carry something that is bigger than yourself or bigger than money itself. I think that's very important. So
I was
sorry.
on Digital Marketing Radio. So there's another show you can check out called I was interviewed there last year. And he, if you can talk to him, David Bain, he is very good at podcast growth. So it's a company that does B2B. So one thing that he does very smart one. At the end of the interview, he asked me, "Hey Bob, so who else would you recommend? Who is up and coming? Would you recommend me to interview?" Then Manfred don't need to do the job already. Just go and ask him, "Hey, so if I say, oh, you should interview, for example, David Bain, and say, hey, David, Bob mentioned you, so you already don't need to do your job. Every show you do, you get guest referral from there. So every show you do, you get
Manfred, you know what to do after you ask Bob, huh?
You can. I refer you a number of names. No
awesome.
problem.
Nice.
Yeah.
That makes Manfred's job a lot easier. But to be frank, right, I guess I like what you say. I mean, that's the very important way to actually shape the way people perceive our show. To be frank, what we do is we are actually trying to help more business entrepreneurs to really understand digital marketing in one way or another. And at the same time, we actually intend to unearth a lot more digital marketing experts or, you know, talented people in digital marketing to the world. I mean, that's kind of like what we have been doing in the past 1 year plus. But thanks for reminding us on this thing, man. You know, seriously.
But
Yeah.
if you
guys are
look
doing
at
a
it,
great job. Yeah.
Yeah. But if you look
I
at
always watch your show.
Thank you. Thank you so much.
our journey as on this show is it's similar to you know, all of us, where when we started, we tried to do everything, and we run into bumps, and then eventually we find our own voice. Eventually we find our own following and all those things. And that's the journey of this particular show. When we started, we wanted to do digital marketing, and along the way we found out that, hey, some of the guests are, like Jason mentioned, they are very good, but they are not popular because they don't promote themselves very well. But they're technically very, very sound and very, very strong. So along the way, then we changed, or so-called we pivoted, in the sense that we want to highlight these people and to allow them to like Mary said, to shine, so that they can help more people, because these are assets, digital marketing assets that people can use or businesses can use and all those things. So if you track the growth of our show, it's almost like a human being venturing into digital marketing, making mistakes along the way, and then having friends that say, hey, I think there's a market for you here. You should go explore this market.
We made a lot of good friends like Bob, seriously. That's a blessing.
Yeah. It's
Awesome.
a very common thing. Like you can watch one of my favorite podcasts. So like, let's geek out a bit. Like one of my favorite marketing podcasts is, you know, ConvertKit. So ConvertKit, the founder is Nathan Barry. So he has a very good podcast. So how I know about this is when he interviewed Andrew Mixergy, which is, and you know Mixergy, the another podcast lah, right? So he interviewed him, and Andrew actually wrote a book about podcasts, and he actually asked. So even Nathan Barry, who is founder of ConvertKit, like $300 million company, and he also said the same thing. What is my mission? Oh, I want to talk to people. So then the same conversation came out. It's normal to start with you want to talk to people, but after some time, then you need to have a bigger mission than ourselves lah, to continue it. Same with business also. If you just chase money, then you chase, then you don't want to do it. You
got lost yourself. But here's the thing. I mean, probably what would be your advice? Because now you're saying that the next platform that you want to, like conquer is YouTube. Okay. So what normally you do when you are entering a new platform? I mean, do you do a lot of preparations and all that? Because to me, it's very simple. You know, I mean, I don't know. This is just to throw out as myself. When I want to go YouTube, I'm like, Andrew, I just go out and I just start throwing content out without knowing what I want to do, without knowing the direction. But to me, it's very simple. I just want to throw it out first. And when I had the idea of starting a podcast, right? In fact, I had the idea in the morning, in the afternoon, the podcast is live. What the hell? So we're just gonna throw it out. To me, to be frank, I don't know where it's gonna lead me to. But for some reason, I'm the kind of person who say that if I want it, I do it. I have a rough idea about what can it work. Like I mentioned, it's for my warm audience and all that. And I have planned to distribute the content. But I just start. Because certain people will be like different. Like I know some people, when they want to start a YouTube channel, right, they will say that I need to actually film 100 episodes first before I roll out. So what would be your preference in doing your so-called your preparation and going into new platform?
I will look at you, Jason. Honestly, I will look at you.
I will look at
you. I will look at, okay, so if I were to start something, it's very simple. I will find 3 people I want to copy. And maybe their channel cannot be PewDiePie. Right?
Okay.
They cannot be cannot be PewDiePie anymore or Mr. Beast. I'll find 3 channel. So I'm talking about marketing. So I'll identify 3 channel that is doing quite similar to me. And then I will start to do and copy what they do and then see got results or not. Okay, so that's my own way. But recently I was listening, so I listen to a lot of podcasts. That's every day I think I listen to 3 podcasts average, right? But I also execute, right? I don't only listen. So if you can check out Mr. Beast's interview on Joe Rogan's show. So Mr. Beast is the #1 YouTube channel in the world, like 95 million. You know what he did? He said, when I started, I had a group of 4 other friends who were at the same follower, same subscriber. And we had a mastermind every day. We have a call and talk about how to grow the channel, analyze each other's thumbnails, etc. And then you grow together. Instead of you learning your own mistake, which take 4 years, you learn from other people's mistake, you grow together. So I've not done that, but that's something very interesting that I'm looking at. But I think you 3 guys here are some sort of mastermind because you all meet every week. Oh, yeah. So you have some sort of like, the fastest way is not to learn from your own mistakes, is to learn from other people's mistakes. So you can get these people together. For example, okay, me and Andrew, okay, we make, so 3 things that I'm looking at to answer that. YouTube, maybe once I have some investment, I will do YouTube. But 3 things that I'm really looking at. Number 1, I'm looking at growing. Recently, the Hustle newsletter got acquired by HubSpot, right? So if you can go, Andrew,
20 million, yes.
Please grow a newsletter. Can get Fatawan Malaysia. Asia got no hustle, so they cannot talk about Asia. So newsletter, paid membership. So I follow this guy Sam Parr. He has a paid membership called Trends. So a lot of paid membership. Morning Brew, Morning Brew earn a lot of money one.
Yes.
So 3 things I'm looking at. I'm looking at paid membership. I'm looking at community, and I was looking at community and also newsletters. Newsletters. Very, very powerful. So you can grow, like Andrew, you have all the tools already. So you grow a newsletter, you win, man. You win. So but having said that, when I look at these things, I think the easiest one to execute is perhaps you get a following first, which is like I have a following on the LinkedIn, I have following on Jason. So how you can transfer there. So there are certain people I will model it from, but I have not found a way to get a mastermind together, which I think is important. And you find people at the same stage of your business get together, and learning from other people's mistake is faster than you making your own mistakes.
That's very
all the
true.
time. And I also so that is that. So these are 3 things. So if you in your next future podcast you can cover these 3 things. Find someone very huge newsletter, earn a lot of money. Wow, I love to know. Or someone have a community, like Chris Do has a community. Like he has a community, I think how many people are 600 people, and everyone pay him $150 per month, right? Wow. So like community also can grow. Like I think Jason, you have some sort of community also. So subscription they're already used to paying you, and then newsletter is damn awesome newsletter, and YouTube is also awesome. So these are the things I'm looking at but very still early stage so I'm looking at how to grow that. I'm not looking to grow TikTok like Manfred
So,
we're going to leave TikTok to Manfred already. Manfred is going to cover TikTok already.
We actually do one episode to really let Manfred to come.
Yeah, let him really shine.
Shine until I don't know.
Shine like a diamond, man.
That's a very interesting sharing. Thanks. Because I have a similar strategy, but I'm a bit like, because I don't know why, man. To me, it's like, for some reason, when I want to do something, I have something that I put myself a goal that I want to beat. Let's say, let's say, like I want to outgrow this channel, by when. So, towards the later part of my YouTube journey, I mean, I've been doing this for a year plus right now. But that's what happened to me. But interesting. I think all these are very important. So just to give a quick summary. Okay, so what Bob is saying that, if you want to grow your channel and all that, your platform, other than YouTube, podcast is difficult. That's what we learned from him. It's going to be very difficult. And you want to grow a list, you want to grow community. I think that's what Bob is planning to do this year. And of course, what he plans to do, we respect him as a very seasoned marketer. Of course, we got to have a look at what he does and probably have to put some plan into
We got to follow him, man.
You got to follow him.
That's I'm also at the beginning of my journey, so that's the beauty about it.
Yes.
Like you say, mastermind, we learn from each other. That's how we grow as a community, Correct?
Okay, I got a question for you guys with it, because generally we produce some form of content. Okay. Is it the right way to actually have the end in mind when you produce the content, or as opposed to you produce the content for the sake of producing content?
Can I go first? Can I start first? To me, it's this. When I want to create a content, I know who I want to create it for. But I would not set an expectation. What would it become?
Okay.
Like when I start my podcast, right, I know it's for my follower. It's not for those cold people who doesn't know Jason Gan. So when I want to create my content, it's very clear. But I don't have an end game in terms of what it will become. That's my answer.
So it's not so you basically don't set the end game and say, for example, I want to attract X, not numbers. I want to attract a certain type of people into the group or into your world, and you're going to start producing content that appeals to these people.
Yeah,
is that the case?
I create content for them. I know who I want to attract or who I want to serve. I create content for them, but I have no end game about what will happen. I'll just let it flow. That's me.
I see.
That's how I started my YouTube. No plan. Just
no plan.
Go out first.
Okay. All right. Good point.
Okay. For me, right? What I do, I create content with the collaborator in mind. So this one also you can grow. I heard people share this, how they grow on Twitter. If you get, like, for example, I lost that link already. Neil Patel commented on my LinkedIn post 2 years ago. When Neil Patel commented, it was a video. I interviewed Larry Kim. I'm not sure if you know Larry Kim. So I interviewed. There was a video.
Kim, yes. Survey Monkey. No. The bot. Yeah.
That video got 100,000 views. Okay, so in terms of content, what I want, especially on the organic platform, is to grow the followers. Okay, so I will create that content in mind in who are the influencers, who are the influencers I can involve in the post. So if you go to my LinkedIn post, the latest one, you'll see I created a poll, but I tagged 2 seafood in there. So I say, hey, this person say that video content is getting down. This person say organic reach is getting down. What is your experience with LinkedIn video? So I will think back in mind who else I can involve in the collaboration to get my reach out there. It's the same on YouTube world. So YouTube, the top YouTubers, they always collaborate each other one. Because then your audience bring in other people audience. Like Jason, if you want to grow, if like you look, I don't know, Jason, who else is on your stage on YouTube? Who else is around your
YouTube? It's very me.
Oh, in Malaysia, maybe like if you look at Mr. Money TV, okay, Mr. Money TV got 50K, right? Now more, I think maybe 100K. So you collaborate, then you grow together. So when I create content, maybe not applicable so much on YouTube, but if LinkedIn, I would think who are the top. Like for example, just now we look at Juliana Chan. How can I involve her in the post?
Or you're asking who are at my stage, my current stage right now on my YouTube. I mean, on par of my YouTube. I don't know, seriously.
Yeah, but I will think of who I can involve in. So it's not only my own reach that goes out there. I tap into their reach also. Nice. So for example, if you talk about Juliana Chan, if you want to get her to comment, you need to talk about last week International Women's Day. So then you can tag her and you can involve her also. So the other way to hack content, if you keep posting by yourself, okay, can linear growth. But if you get Neil Patel to comment on your post, then it's that. That's it. On Twitter, if you get Elon Musk to retweet you, that's it. That's it, man.
But tagging in linking the ad sign is you must have connection, right? If you don't have connection, you can't tag lah.
You can tag one without connection. Also can tag. You can tag. Just type in their name. I would say when it comes to tagging, number one, like you need to turn on the bell first. You need to engage first. You don't anyhow tag, right? Do you know that anyhow is a Singaporean word? In Malaysia, never use one.
Oh, is it?
Really?
Yeah. Don't anyhow go. Malaysian English we never say anyhow one, but in Singapore you say almost every day. Like in Malaysia we say chin chai lah.
Okay.
Anyhow.
Oh.
And in Singapore also,
a bit of culture.
I work with Singapore clients. So another thing is they call it chai peng.
Yeah.
Do you know what is chai peng or not?
No idea.
We don't know one. Manfred, do you know? Now you know. We don't say. Another
you
thing
know what
is
is Tafana, Manfred?
No.
Okay, so back to it. So when you tag, you also ask a question. Don't anyhow tag. Ask a question, build relationship. Then when you tag, you'll be more powerful. Even if you build relationship already, sometimes you don't tag. They out of love will come and comment on your post. So that is the hack.
Right.
So think of how you can involve other people. Like recently, I know Andrew know this. I create a lot of article top CEOs to follow in Malaysia, top CEOs follow in Indonesia. Not it's all on purpose one. So it's for them to share my article and then tap into their to network with them and also to build my audience also. So
and it helps with your credibility, you know.
What I say, I do use it on LinkedIn, but it works on Twitter, it works on TikTok, it works on YouTube, it works on other platforms also one.
Very true.
So that is the hack lah.
Awesome.
There you go, guys.
Awesome.
There you go.
Thank you so much. All right, I think we will have to. It's already 11:08.
Holy shit! It's 1 hour already.
Yeah, it's
my goodness.
1 hour. Awesome, right?
Well, we haven't even touched any one of the questions, man.
Yeah, we didn't touch any of the questions. I think we just wing it.
Next one. Yeah.
This is
we
awesome.
are super wingers today.
This is awesome. All right, so Manfred, you're up. You want to do your show? I mean,
just
another
a very
shining
simple
moment.
one.
Okay, let me put this
shining moment. So today's tool is quite interesting. It's called People Also Ask Tool.
Oh.
Yeah, searchresponse.io. People also ask. So any topic, sir? This is only US. I can't change to other countries.
Okay.
I know, LinkedIn
What
marketing.
topic? Or marketing?
LinkedIn marketing. Maybe LinkedIn marketing.
LinkedIn, okay. LinkedIn.
Yeah.
You can put domain and URL. So you try this one. Try LinkedIn marketing. See what happens. So let's give the AI a bit of time. Okay. How is LinkedIn marketing used? There's a URL, no iScoop. Then what is LinkedIn marketing strategy? There's a URL corresponding. Something like Google. So you see, there's even what PA counts.
So this is almost good for content idea generation.
Yeah, content idea. Why should I use LinkedIn for marketing?
Wow, this is interesting.
Yeah, so
this is good.
Match also. So you can play around with this thing. This is quite fun. People also search for. Okay. So I just got to know this tool. Then you can play around with it. You can sign up.
Searchresponse.io.
Yeah, it's inside. I think Jason actually shared the.
I already shared the link, so you guys can find it in the comment. Thank you, Manfred. Now
awesome,
I want to quickly
Manfred,
flash this up again. This is Bob's link. If you guys want to connect with Bob on LinkedIn, you can actually go to LinkedIn and search for Bob Lowe. You can find him definitely. But if you want the link, this is the link, and follow Bob's advice. You have to get your domain name. Like linkedin.com/in/BobThinks. If you haven't gotten that, you probably want to do that right away. Okay.
So one question for you, Bob. When's your next networking session? If you guys want to actually meet and grow your network, you should join Bob's networking session. He has one for Malaysia, Asia, and multiple countries.
Yeah. That one to be confirmed. That one is actually another one we can talk separately. But that is my move to build community. That is in a bigger plan. I want to build a community. But that one is put on hold first. But that is something that I'm building also, building a business community.
Okay. So guys, follow Bob on his LinkedIn profile, and you will know when he's ready for his session.
That's right. That's right. All right. Thank you so much, Bob, for joining us
Hey,
again
Bob,
tonight.
thank you, man. Yes.
It's
Thank
awesome.
you, thank you.
Learned
You guys
so
keep up the
much
good
from
work.
you.
I
Thank
I
you.
will watch you all every week. So keep up the
Thank
good work
you.
also.
All right,
Thank
all
you for the
right.
support.
So thank you for support. All right, guys, that's what we do on every Wednesday night. It's 3 Marketeers Show. We go live every Wednesday night at 10 p.m. Malaysia time. If you like what we do, and you can actually go back to watch back our all past episodes on my YouTube channel and Facebook page. And if you have anyone that you want to suggest to appear on our show and any topics that you want to find out more, please drop us a line, or you can actually find Manfred. Manfred is our head of acquisition, basically in terms of questions, topics, and guests. So this is what we do. And
I'll send you some names, Manfred.
Oh yeah, but we will get back to the backstage.
To copy Bob's suggestion, join us every Wednesday where we mastermind for 1 hour on digital marketing.
Oh yeah, I like the idea. Mastermind. Okay.
Yes.
That's great. That's great. All right, guys. Thank you so much, and see you next week. Thanks, Bob. Let's stay back to the backstage.
Thank you, guys.
Yeah, let's talk backstage.
All right. Thanks. Good night. Bye bye.
Good night.